Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Long Island TCG Show. We'll call it an invitational, perhaps.
Who's
I
invited? The people here, I guess?
exactly.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They were invited,
It's
yeah.
an invitational if you're invited. We'll call it at that. Welcome back to beautiful Melville, Long Island, at the Hilton for the Long Island TCG Show Invitational. I am one of your co-hosts, Nicholas Battleboxes Uterano. We got Christian Ipo Stridiron over here, cutting straight to our match. Actually, on the start here, we have Sujith Nalabolu. We have Sujith Nalabolu on Lost Box versus Jesse Yin on Archaladon.
Yep.
Traditionally, a very good matchup for Lost Box because you have the Pikachu EX that can swing for 300 over and over and over and over again until you win that matchup. However, you do have a lot of cards and combinations in order to get to that, so that depending on Sujith's opening hand, Jesse can do a couple of different things. Starting out, thinning the deck. Do you see Squawkabilly there? It does look like with this deck list, it is a pure Archaladon. Oh, did Jesse not set prize cards?
Oh.
Or maybe not.
Sujith is probably like... yeah, I have a feeling Sujith is just like, bro, just put him out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah,
good sportsmanship from
Sujith
Sujith
here.
Definitely, in a grassroots tournament, not too high stakes. Obviously, in this case, you'd have to call a judge over and, deal with our lovely judge staff in our tournament, see how you resolve it.
AKA Anthony, yeah.
Looks like he might be taking that over. Unfortunately, Jesse did not set prize cards, it looks like. So we'll have to see what exactly is happening there.
So I guess that no prizes. Ultra Ball comes back. I think they're kind of deciding exactly what to do here. I think Anthony is actually over at the table right now.
If we want to take a look, if we want to get a confirmation for that, I guess we're kind of deciding what exactly it is we want to do. Because at this point, not setting prize cards, typically there is a penalty involved because you have to uphold the game state. If you drew a card, that is traditionally what would your prize.
And a card was drawn and an Ultra Ball's played. So it's like kind of not really something you can rewind here. I think Sujith is saying like that it's fine regardless.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think they're putting out the prizes. We're going to see exactly what happens here. Do you see the bundle start from Sujith? I'm not going to lie. I was looking at his hand before,
does
too.
Not look good.
And his hand does not look good. Yeah. So he's got a Pokestop, so he could do something there. He does have a Nest Ball as well. Oh, no, he has a Chorus. Wait, I'm tripping. Yeah, that hand's fine.
Did I see the chorus? I did not see the chorus there. So, yeah, we got it there. Okay, so we did set out the prize cards.
So
Sujith was a good sport about it. We'll have to see if there are any retroactive penalties involved with that, or if Sujith kind of waved it off, and was like was a good sport about it. And was like, okay, I don't really care too much. You guys can kind of go through as normal. So we shall see what the end result of that is. It looks like that he is explaining to him the process of the penalty. So maybe Jesse might have gotten a double prize penalty there. So, so it has been confirmed that Jesse has a double prize penalty, meaning that in this case, Sujith does not get 2 prize cards, but only needs to take 2 less prize cards in order to win, meaning that Sujith only needs to take his first 4. Jesse must take all 6. So definitely, I guess upholding the tournament ruling in this case, definitely good on the judges here too.
Yeah.
Because not setting prize cards, you need to take prize cards to win a game, and if you don't have any prize cards on the board,
bit of a problem.
Bit of a problem.
I will say one thing as well, that in terms of this matchup particularly, it is definitely one that favors Sujith regardless. Having the Pikachu that can just do 300 damage to one thing, and also having that the Resolute Heart, I believe it's called, the ability that basically makes it so it can't get one shot in one hit. Definitely something that Archaladon really can struggle with here, and just having Sujith having that advantage here with the DPL is probably making this even better for him. The Jamming Tower is in play. It looks like he literally just top decked a Buddy Poffin, so he's literally going to play that right away.
We are cooking right now. So, deck list that I've played a lot. This is the rogue deck of the format that is rapidly gaining popularity. This deck is called Lost Zone Box. The whole point of the deck is that you are able to draw a great many cards at the cost of pitching some of those cards away into the Lost Zone, meaning that they are gone for the game. Goodbye. They're done. Exiled. That's it. But the idea is that your deck has cards that function if you have a certain number of cards in the Lost Zone. Say, Cramorant. Its ability says if you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone, Cramorant gets to attack for free. If you have 7 cards in the Lost Zone, you can use the incredible Mirage Gate card, where you can take 2 energy cards of different types from your deck and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, and the 10 cards in the Lost Zone giving access to Sable Eyes attack, Lost Mine, which lets you place 120 or in sets of 10, so 12 damage counters anywhere you like on your opponent's board. So the idea in the early game here is so Sujith can get these Comfey into the active. They will use their ability Flower Selecting, which says, draw 2 cards. One of those cards you get, one of those cards goes into the Lost Zone. So you just keep doing that over and over and over again until you get to the card numbers that you need. A great innate draw engine, as well as access to some very powerful cards if you're able to get to the stuff that you need to. Also combined with the supporter that he has in hand, we mentioned the Colress's Experiment, same concept. You get to draw 5 cards, 3 of those cards you keep, 2 of those cards, Lost Zone. And that'll continue to go for as much as the game is. So we'll have to see what he does. Started with the Iron Bundle and has 2 Comfey in play, did his prize checking, so we'll have to see what he has access to.
And a Chorus in hand too. So he's doing it right here, and I do want to note as well, just kind of Sujith's like prowess with this deck, especially early on this season. He was just tearing up League Cups, man. Like just first, second, top 4, just all over the place. I definitely played Sujith in many a top cut at these cups early on the season, and early on, like in the first maybe 4 months of the season, Sujith was like a top 10 player in I think the world, ranked, in terms of just championship points alone.
Yeah.
So he definitely put in a lot of work with this deck. He knows how to play it very correctly. Due to just life stuff happening, I know he hasn't been able to play as much as he actually wants to. But he is still an incredible player. Definitely don't get that twisted, and he definitely knows exactly what he wants to, or needs to do rather, with this deck. So opting for that Colress here. He does have a pretty nice board state established already. The bundle start is not what you want to see, but the rest of his board is looking pretty promising.
Also got the switch card and energy to retreat with Iron Bundle's retreat cost being 1. He can definitely get at the very least 4 cards in the Lost Zone this turn. Maybe potentially Cramorantting the Radiant Greninja so that you can follow up later with your own Radiant Greninja's attack, or potentially, Sableye later on, or whatever. The idea being that, you definitely have a lot of options. So looks like Sujith is considering the last couple of cards he wants to put away. Seems like he is Lost Zoning the Palpad as a 1-of in the deck and one of his water energy. He did prize check, so he knows the rest of the energy in his deck. We will have to see what he does next. Probably nest balling for Radiant Greninja. The idea behind Lost Box being you want to access, as many cards as humanly possible. Radiant Greninja's ability, pitch 1 basic energy card from your hand, or pitch 1 of any energy card from your hand, draw 2 cards. So the idea, let's pump through your deck as fast as possible, get everything out on the board, get as many cards in the Lost Zone as possible, and start swinging turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, the order in which you play cards when it comes to Lost Box is definitely something that can separate someone, who doesn't play the deck very much with a very strong Lost Box player, right? This deck involves a ton of sequencing. It involves a ton of decision making. And yeah, speaking of decision making, we are faced with one right now. We're faced with the Lightning Energy and the Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher, obviously an insanely good card, but depending on what, energy are prized, what energy are discard, Sujith wants to get the turn 2 Pikachu most likely. So this honestly could be a situation where we see the Prime Catcher just kind of sent to the whatever Lost Zone,
Well, the thing is, he does have 2 Lightning Energy in the deck unless he knows he prized a Lightning. So that's probably
that gives me some information. I don't know what his prizes are, but now I do know one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Oh no, there's a Lightning in there. So I do think that as well.
No, because that was the Lightning he got from the Flower Selecting.
Sure, makes sense.
So yeah, definitely seems like a Lightning was prized there, because he definitely wants, Pikachu is definitely the biggest attacker in the matchup. So he wants to be swinging with that turn after turn.
I could have sworn I saw one in discard. I could be wrong on that. Although I will say one thing. I think Prime Catcher in this particular matchup, especially with a DPL, looming over Jesse here, I think that not having the Prime is actually okay. This is a matchup where Jesse has to push a big Duraludon into Sujith. He doesn't really need to gust around it. It's really just...
Okay, so you get the Buddy Buddy. You get the Buddy Buddy, but losing your boss's orders with no Palpad. Now you have no Gust available to you for the rest of the game.
That's a little sketchy.
That is a little sketchy, so that's why he did take the Iron Hand, so potentially if he does get the double gate, he can amp he could probably amp the Greninja, or, now he can't amp the Squawk, so he'll have to wait until Jesse produces a Archaladon and then swing at it with Pikachu, I think, twice. That is the only thing that he can really do. Force him to produce the Pokemon that you are going to swing into for your 4 prizes for game.
Yeah. I do want to note he also has this bundle, so he does kind of have a gusting effect in a sense, on his board.
That is true.
And he will have access to that his whole game. We do play a Night Stretcher. We do play 4 Super Odds. We have a lot of access to it. The one thing I will also note as well is, even though losing that boss, kind of stinks, I do think this is a matchup where Jesse will just kind of be pushing Archaladons into Sujith. And that's pretty much the best and honestly only line the deck has. And that's why this matchup can be stressful. So for the Archaladon players. So I do think Sujith having the knowledge to say, hey, listen, like, in this case, like, honestly, having the extra lightning in my deck is a worthwhile resource, right? That is actually like honestly, like a decision that a lot of players might not recognize. You know, they'll know Prime Catcher's an amazing card that they want in their deck, but Sujith, you know, even though it's an amazing card, he understands that, hey, my mission is just to kind of push a Pikachu into him, right? And that's, you know, the Prime Catcher is not really doing that for him. So he understands that in this situation, having the extra chance or the extra likelihood to get this Pikachu attack off is more important. So I think, honestly, really, really strong play by Sujith. A play that maybe looks a little strange on paper, but in this matchup makes total sense to me.
Right now, seems like he has 4 cards in the Lost Zone, so definitely we're going to be attach Mirage Gate Pikachu swing into the Archaladon if Jesse does produce the attack for turn. We'll have to see what exactly he does. Yep, that seems like it's going to be. So definitely that game plan that we had spoken about earlier. We want Sujith to be swinging with the Pikachu next turn.
Yeah.
He does have a Colress, so that does guarantee that he gets to 7. I did see a Mirage Gate in hand earlier, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
and a Super Rod in hand as well.
Super Rod in hand, so he definitely has all of the pieces he needs right now. So the only thing that would need to happen is that Jesse would have to disrupt him in some way, and I don't think he has any reason to right now. Well, I mean, with a hand as big as that, you'd probably want to. So
and we did just see the Colress hit the discard off of the Pokestop as well, so that could be a move for Jesse here. I know he has the Luminion in his hand, definitely considering it. If you honestly, this matchup too, like, honestly, I think we're not talking about Jesse's board much, but that's because, like, honestly, this is a matchup that, like, is very linear for Jesse, right?
Yep.
It's pretty much what we were saying before, where basically we have a situation where
bossing up the Greninja.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's like
to draw. That's okay.
And that's kind of an example of that linearity, right? Jesse saying, "Listen, this matchup is, you know, you're gonna push a Pikachu into me, and I'm just gonna hope you don't hit it, right?" So in this situation, Jesse's just kind of opting for the opportunity to maybe, you know, slow Sujith down a little bit. I think that makes a lot of sense, since Greninja is definitely a card that you always want on your bench at all times in Lost Box due to the consistency boost it gives you. So I think getting rid of it now and just trying to basically honestly hope that Sujith doesn't find this Pikachu is a pretty smart play.
Ooh, metal. Okay, so now we have to consider, we have the 1 lightning in there and the 1 psychic. So that would mean that based on prizes, if Sujith doesn't have any energy prized, he just drew one of his 2 metals. We do have a second metal in the deck as far as the deck list, as far as I am concerned. So we could Super Rod the lightning back in and Mirage Gate that. We do have the second grass. So the idea here is probably to attach and retreat into the Pikachu with one of the energies that you would need to Super Rod back into your deck.
Yep.
The problem is that if he would need the double gate in order to swing. So he would probably, at this point, need a switching card plus everything else he needs. So it looks like right now he's got metal, grass, lightning. I think he has enough here. He does have the double gate. So if he does need the attach retreat, he can double gate to essentially get there. Let's just see what else he has in deck. He's going to Super Rod the lightning and the Greninja.
Definitely want that back in deck. I do think that actually double gating here for Sujith isn't the worst thing ever, just because of the way that the penalty works here, right? He really only needs to get off 2 Pikachu swings.
Nope, he's got 1. He only needs 1. Look at that.
And that's it. Yep. Proper sequencing, man.
A big thing. Proper sequencing. Oh.
Wait, we're scooping?
Oh, the instant concession from Jesse.
Yeah, because I guess he can't do anything about the Pikachu.
No, he literally can't. That is an early concession from Jesse.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I actually kind of respect that. You know, in that position, you're down so much. And, like, Sujith, like, all he literally needs
he's having
is
a good time.
Yeah. All he needs is a Mirage Gate at that point, right? So, like, in all honesty, like, that might have seemed like an early concession, but that's, like, not taking the DPL into account. That's not taking the fact that he can't deal with the Pikachu into account. So, in all honesty, a respectable concession there. On it, I might have done the same if I was in his shoes. So
no, absolutely.
Very
that
fair.
would have been, that is definitely something I would have considered. You know, if this was a best-of-3 format, then maybe, you know, time for a game 2.
Yeah.
You know, definitely with the Pikachu EX on board, even if Sujith takes the knockout there, if Jesse produces another Archaladon and swings onto the Pikachu, the Resolute Heart ability activates and Pikachu's HP is set to 10, and then Sujith gets all of the amount in the world, all of the cards in the world, the entire setup just to swing again and win the game with the DPL. So, unfortunately, you know, that is that. Pretty open and shut case, unfortunately, with the DPL there. You know, and even with that matchup. So we're going to see, let's see who we've got coming back. Got Jesse over here.
Oh, yeah, Jesse, like, laughing up. I'm glad he's having fun, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It happens, right? You know?
It happens, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see. Who did we have coming over for the interview? We have Sujith.
So I'll hop
Smile
off.
on his face.
Yeah,
Let's see what we've got.
very silly little game. You guys could talk about it. You guys are
Yeah,
more Lost Box pilled than I am.
Let's
so.
talk about it a little bit. Let's see what we do here. Okay. What's up? Pop a squat, Sujith. Put on that headset. We're going to talk about your game, all right? Be not afraid of the caster that is sitting next to you. Be not afraid. What's that? Yeah, put it on. You put it on, and I can hear you, and you can hear me.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. So, Sujith, Lost Box pilot extraordinaire in our group. Noticing Jesse did not set any prize cards, huh?
I mean, I just didn't notice. We both didn't notice until like his first turn. It's a bit unfortunate. They were considering a game loss, but I didn't really want that.
So you actually appealed for the for the just the DPL instead.
Yeah, I mean, I know that especially in that matchup, that still kind of gives me a near insurmountable lead also, but I at least wanted to play the game. And
yeah, of course. I mean, obviously this is a grassroots tournament for fun, so you definitely want to be, a good sport. We even mentioned for you on the stream, we're like, good sport from Sujith, allowing that to happen. Just as a heads up, I believe for the stream team here, I believe I cannot see my own, we cannot see the camera feed from the front here, if that's okay, but just want to make sure that the team in the back is aware of that. But all right, there we go. We're here now. But at the end of that, obviously Lost Box, a deck that takes a very good matchup into our Chaladon. I think Jesse conceding on the fact that he knows that he can't really deal with the Pikachu at all, has no disruption cards in his hand, really can't do anything. Is that really kind of the game plan that you want to take into that matchup, or is there anything else that you were kind of thinking about in that early game?
I wasn't thinking about much of a different game plan. I think in like the beginning, if I didn't have if there wasn't a DPL, some of my flower selectings might have been, I might have kept a prime catcher.
That's what I was going to ask you about after, actually, but makes sense.
But I knew, I had a bundle on board too, so essentially the reason I kept the lightning energy was, if I get the first knockout on an Archaladon, I don't really need actual Gust, because I can bundle into anything, and it will always have the possibility of 2 prizes with either Pikachu or Iron Hands. So, other than like a fresh Duraludon, I guess, but
and really he has to produce the Archaladon in order to attack. So if the Pikachu's there, it's swinging no matter what.
The Pikachu is pretty much just very strong in that matchup. I think it's pretty favored for Lost Box, as long as Lost Box sets up.
Okay.
Unless they play Canceling Clone or something like that. But
very well played. I mean, we saw right in the beginning as well. Sorry to interrupt you there. We definitely saw in that set as well that right away that big flower selecting between the additional lightning and the prime catcher, very good on the heads up play. That he's not gonna really produce anything else aside from the Archaladon to swing at. I mean, for people who are looking to play Lost Box in its last ride at home, I mean, anything else that you'd like to talk about with the deck and how you piloted, anything that you need, you want somebody at home to kind of, when they're learning how to play the deck, to kind of keep in mind that helps you kind of excel in this matchup.
I'm no extraordinaire, first of all, but
how modest.
I would say that if you're playing Lost Box, you just got to practice a lot. It's a deck you can't just necessarily pick up and play. Just practice a lot, know your resources. That's the biggest thing. That's a deck you want to prize check everything. If you usually play 4 rods, 4 gates, you want to be able to always know how many you have in deck. You always know how many energies you have in deck. That's just the most important thing. Our Chaladon matchup is generally, you just set up your Pikachu and swing into their 2 prizers, and you just got to be careful of Dialga. That can be one thing that's annoying. But if you set up faster than them, usually you can just run them over with Pikachu.
Yeah, and DPL aside, that is exactly what you did. So good job on you, Sujith. You will be advancing into the next round. 2-1 record now? So 3-1 can definitely get you in a cut there, as probably either the 3rd or the 4th seed. So we'll have to see how the rankings stand up there. So anything else you want to say for the crowds around the island, at home, anywhere else on the whole internets?
Shout out to you, because I'm actually playing your... all 60 of these cards are yours, so...
That is true.
Just shout out to you.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to...
Always happy to provide.
Shout out to you and Christian for casting. I think that's really cool. So that's one of the main reasons I came, was to see you guys cast.
Hey, we appreciate the support anytime and all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so we are good with our interview here. Sujith Nalabolu Sujith Nalabolu dominant in that game against our Chaladon, going up to 2-1 into the bracket now. We will be going into round 4 momentarily, but we will see you guys in a couple of minutes. We will be taking a break before then. Catch you back in a couple minutes.
See you guys.